Okay, I'm still working on it. We are having some technical issue. Please.
No, it is okay. It is okay from here.
1 minute. I can see the screen. I cannot see the
Yes.
screen.
Participants, kindly tell me whether the screen is visible to you or not. You can write in the chat box. From my side, it is visible. Okay, sir, you can start your session, and I can see from the mobile also that your screen is visible. Sir, unmute yourself, please. And you can start your session. And from our side, the PPTs and screen is visible. You can give or share the link to anybody else nearby you, and he or she can
Okay.
let you make you aware.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it's okay now. Good afternoon to the participants joining us from India, and good morning to the participants that are joining us from Nigeria. Thank you very much, Ma, for this great introduction. Yes, I am by name Hamis Najume Musa from Department of Anatomy, School of Health Science, University of from University of American University, Mariam Abacha American University of Nigeria, that is located in Kano State. Thank you, Ma. The topic that I will discuss today is writing manuscript for presentation. So in this topic, we are going to discuss how to write manuscript. So, and these are the outlines. These are the outline of Please, the first slide.
Sir, everything is okay now.
Yes, everything is okay.
You can proceed on with the session.
Okay, so the content of this study, we are going to discuss the introduction, then we look at the steps that we'll follow in order to write a good manuscript for for publication, and from there we will conclude the content, then some of the reference for further reading. So from the introduction, when we say research manuscript, it's just the product of research. The research is an investigation or professional investigation that has been conducted in an academia. The academia can be university or any higher institution. Also, for professional context, the professional context may be the organization or association of engineers can sponsor a research, and also the association that are dealing with medical doctors or any other profession. The profession that the association of teachers also, they can conduct an investigation. So the final product of that investigation is what we call manuscript. And the manuscript also can be from a research organization. We have many organizations that are sponsoring research so that they will investigate on a matter, something on a problem or statement of a problem that is affecting society in order to get information, that will be beneficial to the society. And that manuscript is serve as a publishable document in a research journal. So why we need to study how to write this manuscript? Yes, if you write a good manuscript, that will make it easier your project to be published in a very high impact journals, and also it will simplify the work of peer reviewers during editing and the also correction. And also, if you have a good manuscript, that will receive the attention of readers and will increase the citation of your journal. However, if the manuscript is not good, it can easily be rejected by peer reviewers during reviewing, because when you submit your journal, it has to undergo a committee, editorial committee, peer reviewers, and that committee have to analyze and investigate the paper. If the paper is very good, so that it can be proceeded and published in the journal. However, if the paper or the manuscript is not that very good, you can be asked to edit. Yes, and sometimes it can be rejected. So writing a very good manuscript will help the reviewers so that they can easily accept your paper and proceed with publication, and also that will receive high attention of the readers, and it can increase the citation of the researcher. So what are the steps? Let us look at the steps of this writing a manuscript. Firstly, the first is to read the guidance for the author. We know that even before you start writing your manuscript, you already have the target journal that you want to publish your work. So almost all the journals, they have a guide. They have a guide or instruction for the author. So the author has to access the website or the instruction and read it very well, so that the researcher will understand. Yes, the researcher will be able to understand what the journal is requiring, because every journal has its own specific rules and regulation. So the researcher has to access the website, download the journal, and read it very well and comprehend everything, so that when the researcher submits his research, it will be accepted by the journal. Yes, because they have the journal may have different. The journal may have different subjects. That is, they may have the journal may have different subjects. That is the subject that require the scope. Yes, maybe if you conduct your research concerning engineering, it's not easily for that research to be accepted in a journal that is dealing with only medicine. And also, if you conduct your research in something that is related to architecture, you cannot submit that journal. You cannot submit your journal to you cannot submit your paper to a journal that is dealing with either something related to psychology or something related to psychology or philosophy. So you have to know the journal that you're supposed to submit your work, and also you have to read in details the interest scope of the journal and the specific information about the type of manuscript you're supposed to submit, and also and you also I'm in the next slide.
Sir, kindly tell me which number of slide I will have to.
Okay, I'm in the first slide, number 4.
Okay. When you going to skip the slide, kindly tell me the slide that next. Then I will play the cursor on the next one.
Okay, ma.
So it is third one or
Yes,
fourth one?
yes, I'm
Third
still
one?
discussing the. Yes, this is the slide, ma.
Okay. We are going
So
with that.
we were okay. We were discussing the first step, that is number one step of how to write your manuscript. That is the first thing you're supposed to do is to read the guide for author. You have to read the guide for author, and I say that you can access the instruction concerning a particular journal, that is your target journal, from from the journal website, then read it very well and understand what they require. That will help you so that when you submit your manuscript, it will be accepted by the journal, because they have different scope. Yes, you cannot submit a journal that is concerning architecture to a journal that is dealing with medicine, or journal that is dealing with psychology or social science. So you have to know the scope of the journal, and also specific information concerning the type of manuscript you're supposed to submit. It will also be there in the guide for authors, and the detailed information concerning the manuscript format, the number of pages that, yes, some of the journals, they have specific number of pages that we're supposed to submit. Anything beyond that, they may either ask for extra charges, or they may even reject the journal. So, and also the type of font size, the font type, and the margins, also the types of reference. Yes, each journal have its own specific reference styles. So you have to also read that guide for author in order to know which type of reference style the journal is using, and also the in-text citation. Yes, that is it will also be available there, because if you submit your journal, even if you write the journal very well, however you use APA instead of Vancouver or Harvard type of reference style, they may either ask you to edit the journal, or some of them, they may even reject your paper. So the first thing you have to do is to read the guide for author. That is for your target journal. The journal you want to submit your manuscript, you have to read it, the instruction there very well, and understand it, so that you will follow the rules and regulation concerning that journal. Next slide, ma. So the second step after reading the guide for the author is to write your methodology, and the methodology involve. Next slide, ma. Next slide. Okay, thank you. So the second step, after you read and understand the instruction from a particular journal that you intended to submit your work, the next step is to write the methodology of the research. Yes, the methodology, it involves the material and the method. The material you use during the research, and also the method you apply. So you have to describe what exactly you did, and also how you conducted the research. It includes the tools and the techniques that you use during the data collection. Also, you have to discuss how the data were analyzed. That is, if you use statistical tools, or and depending on which type of data, the data can be in form of number when you collect it from a questionnaire. So the number you collected, it has to undergo data analysis, And that one, you have to also describe the types of statistical tools you use, and also the version of the statistical tools that you use during the analysis. And also, if the data is in form of sample, maybe a sample from human or animal subject, or from an environment, or from a contaminant, also that sample, it has to undergo analysis in the laboratory. So you have to discuss in details which type of chemical you use during the analysis of that data. And if the information is in form of descriptive information that is collected either via questionnaire that you administer to the participant, or any method you use for the data collection, you have to describe it. And also how you analyze the data, also it has to be described in details, so that the reader of your journal will be able to understand which type of analysis your data undergo. And the location that you use during the study, that is the study location, and the population also, it has to be discussed in an explicit details. Then the sample method you apply, because especially if you are dealing with a large population, you cannot be able to conduct the research in all the participants or all the citizens in that particular population. Maybe you are doing a research on a specific department, so you want to know something, you want to investigate on a particular matter at a particular university concerning some of the students. So it's not necessary to collect your data from all the students. So you have to apply sample. So we have different type of sampling technique. So also the type of sampling technique you use, either systematic random sampling method, or any type of sampling you use, also it has to be discussed. Why? Because the type of sampling that you use, it can affect your data. Yes, you may skip some of the participants, and those participants may be even your required subject. So, however, if you discuss the type of sampling technique you use, that will give the reader insight that yes, this type of research use a particular sampling method. So that one will be understandable by the researcher. The next slide, Ma. Okay, thank you. So also, the research may involve either human or animal subject, and we know that there is ethical consideration. So that the ethical consideration you undergo and is given by, you have to collect approval from the ethical committee. Yes, in every institution, either in the university or research organization, they have a department for the ethical committee. So you have to consult the ethical committee and to seek their approval before you start taking data, either from human and also from animals. And that ethical committee will either approve or change the methodology you want to apply. Maybe your research is dealing with human subjects, and you want to take sample, maybe a blood sample from the participant. So, and from your own methodology, you say that you want to use 20 ml of blood. So each participant has to donate at least 20 ml of blood. So the ethical committee may change that and maybe change it to give you an advice. Yes, this one is too much, because some of the participants may even refuse to participate because you will take large amount of sample from their body. So they may even tell you, yeah, why not use just 2 millimeter, it will be also be okay. So, and you have to adopt. Yes, you have to adopt that. Yes, you agree that you will use a particular rules and regulation from the ethical committee before they allow you to conduct the research. And also, the informed consent is very important. Yes, either from the human, the informed consent, if the humans are adults, so the informed consent will be from them. And if your participant, they are child that is below 17 years, the informed consent, it has to come, the informed consent has to be.
Sir, your screen is already on.
Please, we're having some technical issue, but I think now I can even share my screen.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you from my side. My internet is also not stable at home. I have taken leave, so that's why it is not working properly here. Thank you for cooperating. So you can proceed on with the session, sir. Sir, you are not audible. Sir, actually you are not audible. Okay, till now sir is rejoining us. Let me summarize what we have done. Sir is discussing over how to write the publication manuscript, which is very important aspect, and he has classified the things to make it easy in introduction, steps of writing manuscript, and conclusion, and then references. Then on third slide, sir has given the introduction, how to write research manuscript for a research organization. Has given some point you easier to be publish your article in a reputed research journal. Then the fourth slide, we are there. Some guidelines are written for the authors, which are different for different research. Sir has explained profoundly the methodology of the research you have taken, and exactly what you did, what have you conducted, right? Tools and techniques are required to be mentioned, and then it is very important to discuss how the data is analyzed and describe the study location, population, all the things are required to be written in the methodology of the research. Now then, step 2 involves the human subject. If it is there, so we will have to consider the ethical points also. Now, Amishu sir, are you there on the screen? Sir, are you there? Are you there, sir? Sorry, audience, it is a very third variable which is undesirably interrupted the very important session. It was also occur in the session of Bedkar sir, which was very important, and sir has lively introduced and make it very impressive with slides, and the same it is there. So internet is the third variable, it is not under control. Amishu sir, are you there? Slides are visible. Please anybody tell me slides are visible and sir is visible. Okay, it is there, then okay, sir is not visible. Might be his connection is also get interrupted. So we are at this slide 3. How the important thing while writing a research manuscript is to elaborate your results with concise and specific specificity. So I'm waiting for sir to rejoin us. Please make some patience.
Now it's okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Am I audible now? Hello. Please, am I audible? Hello.
हाँ मैडम, आपको आवाज आ रही है उनकी? आपको आवाज आ रही है उनकी? ये हमने यहाँ से अनम्यूट मतलब कर दिया है।
Hello.
You can move.
Hello.
You can move.
Hello. Am I audible, please? Hello.
Yes, sir. Proceed, please.
Please, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Can you hear me, please? Okay, thank you, ma. Thank you. Okay. We are sorry for the technical instability. I think now we can proceed. So we are still discussing the second step of writing manuscript, where we try to, and we are still discussing the ethical approval. So where we made mention that the researcher has to seek for the approval from the ethical committee, and also if the research involve adult, the informed consent has also be seek. And if the research it involve children below the age of 17, the researcher has to seek the informed consent from the parent or relatives of the participant. And also the researcher has to discuss in detail any precaution that is taken using when during the data collection, especially if there is a harm to the researcher. If there is a harm to the researcher, so to the participant, sorry, if there is any harm to the participant, the researcher has to discuss how you were able to avoid the harm, that is the precaution. And also in the methodology, the researcher has to discuss if he use his own established new methodology, that one is also has to be written. And if the researcher adopt methodology from previous research, the proper referencing has to be provided. Then after a good methodology, that is material and method, after that one is done, the material and method is the most critical part of the research. Yes, because some of the researchers will only read some of the researchers will only read your methodology. From there, they were able to know whether you did a good research or not. Then from there, from the data you collected, you will analyze the data. And after that data analysis, you will have the result. That is the finding, what you get from your investigation. So and you have to describe the result. That is in the third step of writing manuscript. You have to describe the result, and this result after the methodology is the second most important part of your manuscript. And when you are discussing the result, you have to start with discussing the population. Yes, the population you use, that is how many subjects participated in the study, and also demographic of the individual group. Yes, that is, you have to discuss the age of the participant, the gender, and the class of living of the participant. All that, they are very important, and it may affect your research. It may affect your finding. However, if you discuss the population you use, and also you are able to discuss how many participants participated in the study, and you describe the demographic, that is the age, level of class, the gender of the participant, that one will be appreciated by the reader. And after you describe the population and the demography, the next thing is to describe your variables, the variables you obtain from the researchers, both the independent variables, that are the primary variables, then the dependent variables, that is the secondary variable. This independent variables, they are also called secondary variables. So you have to discuss them in details. Then for you to have a good result, try to construct a table and graph where necessary, because that will summarize your finding. However, if you use the text, if you use writing, the number of words will be much, and it's not all the readers can be able to read all. However, if you use a graph or a chart, that will simplify your work, and it can easily be read by the researcher and by the readers. And when you come to also discuss your result to discussion, just when you follow the tables, and the graph from there, just from a glance, it will give a reader, yes, idea about your findings. Then also you too, when you are discussing your result, just it serve like as a tour of the graph and the table, just to follow the tables. This one is significant, this one is not significant. Also, if it is graph, this variable is higher in so group, this variable is lower in so group. So it will serve like a tour. You are just follow your graphs and tables and discuss your finding. And also when you try to construct your tables, the table has to be well understood just from a first sight. And the first sight, it has to be well understood. So you have to label it very well. And even if it is a graph, the graph has to be well labeled. And when it's necessary, you can use a legend, but the legend has to be very brief but descriptive. It has to be a very brief, that is very short legend, but however, it has to contain the entire information. Then, if you use abbreviation in the table, below the table, try to put the full meaning of the abbreviation you use, and if you use the figures also, sometime during the data analysis, you may use abbreviation. So that figure also, it has to be clearly noted difference between one figure and another, because for example, if you use a chart or a graph, you may have you may have graph for different groups. However, when you come to discuss it, you have to use a well label, and that well label will tell you that yes, this graph is for so group, for group A, this graph is for group B. And especially when you are using tables, you have to provide the p-value. The p-value will give the reader enough information that yes, the p-value will give the reader enough information when comparing between two groups. That is, especially if you use a t-test, it will give the reader, it will give a reader available information. It will give the reader available information to know, yes, is this you are finding significant or you are not significant. So when you use p-value, yes, and also during your yes, that one will be in the introduction. We'll come to discuss the introduction later. However, in your p-value has to be written in the table so that the reader can be able to understand, yes, is this finding statistically significant or not statistically significant? And make sure that you are finding, make sure you explain your finding. Okay.
Please tell me the number of
then
slides. 10th number or 9th number?
hello ma.
Yes.
Hello ma. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, we are audible.
So tell me which kind of slide, which number? 10 number, 9 number, because my network is actually gone at that time. So if we
Yes,
are
I
at the
am
slide
able to change the slide. I can change the slide by
number 9
myself.
discussing the findings.
Yes, I can change the slide. I am on number 9. Can I proceed?
Okay, then it is okay. Discussing your findings. Yes.
Yes, that is why they. Can I proceed, ma? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the
Yes,
first
sir, you can
step.
proceed.
Thank you, ma. The first step after you finish discussing your result is to discuss your finding. That is the result you generated. You have to discuss it and start discussion with a brief of the main finding, giving the reader a quick orientation. The finding what you find, you have to describe them in a brief details. Yes, that will be an orientation. Even if the reader is not in that discipline, he will be able to understand what you have done. And the reader will find it very easy to read the entire discussion. And in the discussion, this is why you evaluate your finding in a broader professional context. And you have to expand your finding, discuss it in details. This is what you have done. And also you have to compare your finding with other published literatures. That is why you have to consult other literatures that are related to your field, and you have to tell, is this your finding, is it in line with other or is not in line with other findings? And also, if it is in line, if it is confirm the other finding, you have to state the reason why it's similar. Also, you have to state the reason why your finding is against the previous observation. And also you have to state either you are finding they are statistically significant or not. That one will answer your hypothesis. If they are statistically significant, then it answers your research hypothesis. And if it is not, that is you undergo null hypothesis. Also, when you are discussing your result, when you are discussing your result, try to make it in such a way that your finding will be important to the general population and also to the research society. For example, try to describe your result in such a way that if you submit your journals, yes, the journal will after the peer reviewers will know that yes, this finding, it can be helpful to address some issue in the society, or it is very important in the research domain. So make sure that you discuss your findings. Sometimes you may have a good result. However, when it comes to the discussion, you omit some of the important points to discuss them in detail. So try to discuss your finding in a broader context, and also make sure that your finding will be beneficial to the society. And also try to state your limitation, yes, because there is no study that is perfect. If you have limitation of your study, so you use all the ability, the power of your study, that is the amount of grant you obtain. There can be limitation, and also sometimes there is compounding variables. Can be compounding variables or uncontrolled variables that you cannot be able to control. So when you are discussing your result, state those limitations so that they can be, and the reader will be aware, yes, this research has social limitation, and another researcher may use other population. If your limitation is concerning the population you use, another researcher can be able to use other population to conduct the same research. And also, if it is based on your methodology, another researcher may use different methodology apart from your own to see that if you may get different results from your own. And there can be a several pitfalls when you are discussing your research. So number one is that don't claim that your research is the best or is the best, because that will only invite angry letters from other researchers that believe that they did work more than your own. Yes, what they did is more than your own. So just describe your own. Don't claim that your own is the best research. No, just describe within your own variable. Try to describe it, all the points you try to obtain from your result, describe them in detail, but don't claim that, yes, I have the best result compared to others. No, don't do that. Just try to describe your own result. And also, when you are discussing your result, make recommendation. Yes, the recommendation that, yes, this is where I stop, so another researcher can continue in the same line. Try to make a recommendation so that the research can be continuously plotting. Then after you finish your discussion, now the fifth step is to write your introduction. And the introduction, it has to be written in a concisely, and also in such a way that it will attract the attention of the reader. Yes, because it's the first, after the titles and the abstract, the introduction is the first part of the manuscript that can be seen by the reader. So try to make it very concisely so that you will attract the attention of the reader to be, and the reader will be curious to read more about your research. And that will, and also try to instill enthusiasm to the readers and also the peer reviewers. So if you try to make it in such a way that it will be attractive, the reader and even the peer reviewers will be able to know more about your research. And when the reader, when you describe it in very good manner, there will be a high tendency that the research will be considered during publication. Also, if you are writing your introduction, try to explain the research problem. That is why you did the study. Why you did this study, try to explain it, yes, so that the reader will be able to know that, yes, there is a problem that you want to solve in the research society. So try to discuss your research research problem, that is what you want to address, and also the significance of your finding. That is the important, after you conduct this research, what is the importance of it to the humanity. So also try to discuss both the problem you want to address and the significance of your finding, how your finding can be applicable to the research committee and to the general public. Also, when you are writing your the introduction, all the unknown, try to describe, because there may be unknown terms, especially when your journal is published online. Yes, it can be accessed by other people that are not within your discipline. So if there is any unknown term, try to describe it in details. And you have to state the population you intended to use for the study, and the key major you want to the key measures required to adhere well performing the research. So yes, the key measures that are the precaution you want to abide by during performing this research. Also, it has to be discussed during the introduction. And you have to conclude your introduction with clear statement of the primary hypothesis. That is the hypothesis you want to test during your study. You have to state it at the end of your introduction. And if you have any secondary hypothesis, that is, if the first one did not use, you want to apply the second one, if there is any. But most of the research, they may have only one hypothesis, but that one is the primary hypothesis that you want to test. However, if there is any secondary hypothesis, also has to be described. So after you are done with your introduction, the next thing is to write other journals you consult during when you are performing your research. So also that one has to be discussed in details. And since you already, from the first step, you already consult the research, research journals, and you assess the guidance, that is the rules and regulation of the, that is the rules and regulation concerning the types of manuscript you support styles. And when you are doing your referencing, if you have a good reference, I can see that my internet is unstable. Am I audible, please?
Sir, a little bit there is a disturbance in the internet.
Okay.
Participant, is sir is audible, or the internet is not properly? Kindly write in the chat box. Please write in the chat box, sir is audible, or there is a disturbance in network, because from my side there is a disturbance. Let me tell me about your side. Sir is not audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir. The participants are saying you are not audible. There is a disturbance in internet.
Okay, let me try to reconnect.
Okay, now it is, sir. We please proceed on so that we can proceed on to the end of the session.
Okay, let me proceed. So
yes,
the
you are
sixth
audible
step
now.
is to write your reference. And hello.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. The sixth step is to write your reference. Then, and also you have to consult your journals, that is the guide for the author in the journal website, to know the type of reference styles you're supposed to write, and also the in-text citation. And the reference demonstrate that you understand your finding, how you are finding related to earlier report, and you safely assume that you can safely the author of the previous or are the authors of the previous paper you consulted. So don't cite the paper that you read only the abstract, because sometimes the abstract is the abstract be within the result and the discussion. So if you read only the abstract, don't cite that paper, try to assess the full paper, because if you cite the paper that will only read the abstract, that's reviewers may, especially if the reviewers are part of the journals that you cited, yes, they can tell if you misinterpret their work. Yes, from the abstract, they may just put some of the finding. However, the detail of the finding will be within the discussion. So if you use the only finding that is available in the abstract without consulting the detailed paper, you may be able to misinterpret their work. So don't cite the paper that you only read the abstract. Try to assess the detail of the paper and read it very well, so that you will not misinterpret the work of the other researchers. And make sure that all the citation, that is all the citation you put in your in-text during the introduction and during methodology, and also in your discussion, make sure that you properly put them in your reference. All the citation you quote, make sure that you put them properly in your reference, so that to avoid plagiarism. Yes, because even if you put them within the in-text, even if you put the citation within the in-text and you avoid to include it in your reference, that one is also part of plagiarism. Why? Because it may be that another author use it and you consult the work of the other author without acknowledging the previous author. For example, Mr. A cite Mr. B, and in your work you only you use the both the information of Mr. A and Mr. B. However, when you come to your during your in-text, you were able to put the quotation, the citation quotation for Mr. A and Mr. B. But when you come to reference, because you only consult the paper for Mr. A and you refuse to reference Mr. B, so that one is also another form of plagiarism. So try to make sure that all your citation that you put within your text and the reference are in the same styles, and that style should be according to your target journal, the journal you want to submit your work. And also, if you make sloppy reference, that may suggest that, yes, if the reference is not clear, that may tell the peer reviewers that, yes, even the work or your study you perform is also not clear. However, if you make your reference very well and you make it clearly, yes, that will tell that, yes, you are the owner of your paper, you discuss your paper in very much details, and you were able to consult all the reference you cited. However, if it's sloppy, that may be implication to your study at all, because the sloppy reference can be leading to show that your research is performed in a sloppy manner. Then after you finish your reference, the next step is the abstract. So the next step is the abstract. So your abstract has to be complete. After you complete your manuscript, then try to draft your abstract. And the abstract is just the summary of your work. It will serve as the summary of your work, and also it has to be properly formatted. Some of the journals use structured abstract, while others use unstructured abstract. That is the structured abstract. You have to put introduction, the heading of the introduction, the heading for the methodology, heading for the result, heading for the discussion, and the conclusion. However, some of the abstract, it will be just like a continuously flowing. So it will be in form of paragraph. So, but the paragraph, the first paragraph will be for the introduction, then the next paragraph without putting the heading. The next paragraph will be for the research methodology, then the following paragraph will be for the result without putting them as a heading. So also it will be specified by the journal. So make sure that your abstract is in line with the abstract that is specified by your journal. And also you have to maintain the number of words. Yes, the journals used to provide the maximum word that you can be able to put in your abstract. So you have to abide by that. Then make sure that you give enough information in your abstract, because especially if a researcher or another reader is assessing your work from online, the abstract is the first part of your work that can be able to see. So make sure that you describe it in very details, and you describe it in such a way that it can be useful to the other readers. And if you use numerical values, make sure you input both the mean and the variance. And avoid putting reference. Yes, avoid putting reference in the abstract unless a given reference is the main component of your manuscript. Yes, sometimes a specific, you may conduct your research just due to another paper. So your research may be influenced totally by another paper. Either you are doing the research in order to confirm the paper, or you are doing review research. So in that case, if a particular reference is the main component of your research, you can put the reference there. However, if you just conduct your own research, you don't need to put the reference. The reference will be in the reference part. And avoid abbreviation and the acronyms. Yes, because the abstract is just a summary, and is the first thing that other readers will be able to access. So if you use abbreviation, the reader may not be able to understand the meaning of the abbreviation and some of the acronyms. However, there are some of the acronyms that are worldwide known. So that one, you can be able to use them in order even to reduce the number of the word that you insert in your abstract. And make sure that your abstract is in the same style, and you number the page, and it has to be justified. Then after you write your abstract as the summary of your research, also you have to include the keywords. The keywords that are used during the index, of your paper, indexing of your paper. So we are using keywords that are the main words within your research. And if you put them, just try to put them at the bottom of your abstracts and write it in bold. Yes, keyword. Then you mention the journals, depending on the journal. Some they entertain only 3 words, then some it can be up to 5 words. So make sure that you include the keyword, and that it will be used during indexing. Then the next step, after you are after the next step after writing the abstract is to create the title page. Yes, so and the title page is very crucial because it's the first thing that will be seen, and that one will catch the attention of the reader and even the peer reviewers. So spend some time thinking about it when you are finishing writing your manuscript. Then also make sure that your title is very short, however it captured the essence of the content. Don't put a long sentence in your title. Make it very short, however it has to include the scope of your paper, the meaning of your paper. And also remember that to adjust the title to the scope of your paper. Yes, if the paper is dealing with if the paper is dealing with maybe something related to psychology, make sure that within your title you indicate a word that will be able to identify, yes, this paper is dealing with psychology. And if your paper is dealing with medicine or health, also make sure that within your title you input some of the words that will be able to indicate, yes, this one is part of the this work is conducted under medicine, and the title of your paper is within the scope. Is within the scope of the journal. Another component of the title is the author and their affiliation. So try to authorship is a reward for a researcher for doing a specific work. However, data analysis, also the interpretation of the data in the manuscript. So the journal will reward the author for conducting a research. Yes, their name will be there and they can be cited. However, the authors are responsible for the content of the paper. So the authors should make sure that the paper, all what is put in the paper, they follow the research ethic, they conduct the research clearly, and there is no any unethical manner. Because if there is any unethical manner in that paper, it will affect all the authors. So the authorship is very important. That is why there are many arguments put forward. Do not participate. They may claim to be part of it. Maybe they were there, research conducted, or they suggest a title for the research. However, they don't know the details of the research, and they may claim to be part of the research. No, only those people that participated in the research that earn the authorship. So the author are those who make intellectual contribution to the work. Yes, and if there is any conflict of interest, that has to be disclosed. If there is any conflict of interest, the researcher has to disclose it in the heading conflict of interest. Then after you are done with title, you choose a very short and comprehensive title for your paper, and also you try to include the authors and their affiliation, the affiliation that is their address. After you are done with that, then the next step is to write the other component. Other component include the conclusion, so restate the main point of your work and also provide the closure to the finding, being in summary. So just summarize your finding under the conclusion. Then from there, acknowledgement. The acknowledgement, this is the section where you will acknowledge, that is, you will appreciate the effort of other people that contributed to the research and even the writing of manuscript. If the research involved laboratory, so the laboratory assistants that help you during conducting the experiment, or if it concerns with field work, you are going to the field to collect the data. Also, this is where you will acknowledge the assistant that help you during the data and data collection. And also during the data analysis, if you are not the one that analyze your data, also you can acknowledge those that help you with the data analysis. And the other people, maybe relatives and the other people that do not contributed to your study, you don't need to acknowledge them. Maybe to acknowledge your wife or your children, though they are part of you, they are very important to your life. However, since they do not contribute to your research, so you don't need to acknowledge them. And also, if there is any conflict of interest, you have to disclose it. Yes, the conflict of interest refers to the situation in which researchers, that is either personal, financial, or professional interest have potential effect to compromise the objectivity, integrity, or impartiality in conducting the research. All the factors that may affect the research are called conflict of interest that may compromise your finding, that you cannot be able to state your finding. So you have to discuss them. You have to discuss the conflict of interest if there is any. You have to disclose it, and if there is no, also you have to study that you don't have any conflict of interest. And also the funding. Yes, the funding is the financial support provided to the researcher or institution to conduct a scientific, academic, or creative research. So the source where you get the information also has to be stated, and the source of the funding can be from government agency, private company, academic institute, or non-profit organization. So the funding where you get, if the researcher get financial support, also has to be stated. And if the researcher does not have any financial support, the researcher uses his own capital to do the research, so also has to be stated. Then after you are done, you are almost you almost write all the parts of the manuscript. Then the next thing is for you to rearrange the manuscript, because if you remember, we started our discussion with writing of research methodology, that is material and method. Then we say that you go forward to write the next step. After you write your methodology, the next step is to write your result, then the discussion. So the introduction is coming towards the 7 steps. So however, now when you are able to finish all the writing, now it's time for you to rearrange the manuscript. And the most journals they use IMRAD during and that is the format of the arrangement of the headings in the manuscript. So IMRAD, the I stand for introduction, then M for research methodology, that is the material and method used, then the result and the discussion. So rearrange them starting from your title, the abstracts, those ones, they are not part of the content. Then the content will start with the introduction. Then after the introduction, you put the material and method, then your result, then you add the discussion. Then from there, you are able to put the acknowledgement. If there is any conflict of interest, also you have to state it. Yes, and before the acknowledgement, after the discussion, put the summary of your finding, that is the conclusion. Then from there, you write your acknowledgement, if there is any conflict of interest, you have to state it. The source of your funding also, you have to state it. Then later on, the reference will follow, because mostly the reference is coming at the last part of the manuscript in some of the research paper. However, others, they don't use to include the tables and figure in the result. The tables and figures, they are coming as appendices. That is after you write your references, then the figure, if there is any figure or tables in your research, they will be in form of appendices. And also, when you are trying to rearrange the manuscript, make sure the type of paper, that is the page size and the margin, all is there in the guide for the author. So make sure that you abide by that. And also the justification, the page number, the type of page number the journal is adopting, also you have to use it. The line spacing, the type of line spacing the journal is using, also you have to set it. The font type and the font size. Also, depending on the journals, they may use different font type and the font size. And the paragraph separation, some they may entertain, the paragraph should not be less than half of the page, and some you may have your paragraph full page. So depending on type of the journal, so some they may say that a paragraph should not be more than 5 sentences, and some they don't bother about the number of the sentences within a particular paragraph. So also there you have to abide by it. And the general total number of pages, that is your manuscript, how many pages it included, because some of the journal have specific number of pages that they entertain. Then others may ask you extra charges for them to publish other pages. So try to make your manuscript within a particular number of pages that is recommended by the journal. Then after you are done with the arrangement, then screen for the rapid rejection criteria. Yes, there are some of the criteria that once you submit your manuscript may cause just instant rejection, that is rapid rejection. So make sure that you screen all the rejection criteria that may lead to reject your paper. And this can be lack of novelty or originality. If your research is not looking, or you can't discuss your research to be in its original form, or there is no novelty, that is no new idea in your research, that may be lead to rejection of your paper. And also poor research design and the methodology. That is why I made mention that the research methodology is the most important component of the research or manuscript. So if you have to discuss it in very detailed manner, because if it is poor, you cannot discuss it very well, it may lead to the rejection of your manuscript. And also lack of theoretical or conceptual framework. Yes, if the theory, and that is the content, the content you insert in your introduction, and also in your introduction, and also in your discussion, if they are not that well understand, it may lead to the rejection of your journal. Then the ethical concern. The ethical concern, I made mention that in your research, when you are writing your methodology, you have to declare that you have approval from research ethical committee. Yes, because if lack of the research and even the number, the reference number of your research approval, sometimes you need to include it in your methodology, so that anybody that is reading your manuscript know that yes, you consult ethical committee and they approve your work. They may even use the reference number you provided to query or to inquire more information from the research committee from and in a particular institution. So if there is ethical concern, maybe you not follow the ethical consideration that you approve. I made mention, like, for example, if you are taking a sample from human subject, maybe you are taking a blood samples. So the ethical committee sign that you can use only 2 ml of blood, and you just refuse to abide by that, and you take 20 mils. That one is a ethical concern. And also when you are writing your paper, the plagiarism and other misconduct, they can be of ethical concern, and they may cause rejection of your paper. And also poor language comprehension, incorrect uses of word and grammar and the spelling error. So even if you are not native of a particular language, when you finish writing your manuscript, make sure that you consult those that are expert in that particular language, so that you are so that you will avoid all the grammatical error and you use the correct word. Yes, when you are writing your manuscript, and even the spelling may affect your work. So make sure that everything is intact. And also lack of relevance to the journal. Yes, maybe you finish your manuscript and your manuscript is dealing with education, and you submit your work to the journal that is dealing with maybe climate changing and other something like that. So the climate change and the organization or the journal that is dealing with the climate, that is maybe geography or geology journal, may not be able to publish. So make sure that the journal you submitted your manuscript is relevant to your field. And if there is incomplete or missing component, maybe you have the component already, maybe your introduction. However, when you come to rearrange your manuscript, you forget to insert the introduction, so your manuscript is not complete. That may also lead to the rejection. And the failure to revise or address the reviewer's comment. Yes, sometimes even if your journal is accepted by the even if your manuscript is accepted by a particular journal, sometimes you need to edit something. You need to revise it and edit something. So if you fail to edit what the command of the reviewers, it may lead to the rejection of your paper. Then the next step is when you were able to check you screen all the criteria that may lead to the rejection of your journal. Now, the next thing is to rewrite your journal. Yes. Now
Hamishu sir.
Hello, ma.
Hamishu sir, am I audible to you?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now.
Am I audible? Okay. Sir, little bit make your laptop down because your face is not completely
Yes,
visible.
ma.
And the second thing is that we are very
Hello? Hello, ma. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Ma, am
Yes,
I
sir, you are
audible?
audible.
Is the setting now okay for the laptop?
Yes, sir. And kindly
Okay, thank
please
you, ma'am.
brief it because we are already 40 minutes passed out on the limited time. Yes, you are audible. Please proceed on.
Okay, I am about to complete. You check the criteria that may lead to the rejection of your journal. Read the manuscript loud to yourself. Yes, and understand. Yes, if you approve or jump any word, so make sure that you read it loud to yourself and listen to any abrupt jump in logical flow or in any unsupported episode, any unsupported. Yes, it is well understand, and the also uh, once you are done with your content,
Hamesha sir, your screen. Participants, I'm not able to see our esteemed speaker. Are you able to see? Kindly let me know. Sir, is visible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, might be this is the very bad thing today happened. So I'm moving the slide on behalf of sir. Till then he can join to us. This was the slide. And in this slide, sir has written that the manuscript should be circulated to the esteemed and reputed authors. Initial draft of the paper. It should be circulated to the co-authors to collect their criticism so that we can make necessary improvements. So let us see, sir is soon going to join us, and we will have to present our results in the seminar, conferences, or the journals in which specific we are going to publish our paper. So Dr. Seema, Dr. Seema, Dr. Seema, are you there? I have made you
hello,
co-host.
hello,
Yes, sir.
ma'am.
Yes. Your internet connectivity might be not okay.
Can I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
am
yes.
I audible now?
Yes, quite
Okay,
audible.
let me continue. Okay, thank you. So the next thing is to circulate your manuscript. Yes, you have to circulate your manuscript with other with other
I think his network again gone. So Nigeria is too far away from India, and it is more than 5.5 hours ahead to us. So there is little bit connectivity issue today, and we are sorry and apologize for that. Maybe he is soon going to join again, and we are going to about winding up the session. So screen is still stuck at the step 12. Amishu sir, Amishu sir, are you there? Participants, please tell me whether sir is there or not. Please, we are going to about the winding up the session. Okay, sir is not disconnected, but I'm not getting voice of sir. Okay, sir. So yes, sir, you are actually mute. That's why we are not audible. You have muted yourself. You please unmute yourself. Sir, please unmute yourself so that you can be audible.
Sir, please proceed on the session. You are co-host and you can run and kindly summarize the remaining slides.
Okay, ma. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, the next step is to circulate your manuscript with other co-authors so that you will receive criticism and the advice from them. Then make sure that you input all this criticism and the advice they give you. And the another way to circulate your manuscript is to present it in a seminar or conference. There you can obtain a feedback from many observers. That is, if you present your research in a, if you research your, if you submit or you present your result in a seminar or conference, that will give you more idea, or you receive more feedback from many observers, because in a conference there are many observers. And the make sure that you prepare yourself for a massive revision once you have obtained the feedback from them, from your co-authors and the colleagues that you submit your manuscript to them, and you have your co-authors have done their job. Nearly every sentence will need attention, so you have to you have to edit every sentence, as well as the figures and the logical flow of your paper. So then after you circulate your journal with your co-authors and you effect the correction, now the manuscript is ready for you to send for publishing. And then I think that is all from my side. So make sure that
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Hamishu, sir. Yes,
Okay.
we are sorry that on both sides there is internet connectivity issue.
Yes, thank you so much. On behalf of Mariam Abacha American University of Nigeria, and we are very grateful to Baba Mastnath University, India, for using us as collaborators to undergo this great seminar. Really, we really get enough information, and we really appreciate your effort. Yes, you are doing justice to the research, and you are giving us more enlightenment concerning how to conduct the research. So on behalf of Mariam American University of Nigeria, Mariam Abacha American University of Nigeria, we are most grateful to Baba Mastnath University. Thank you so much for this great opportunity you are giving to us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice words. And we are also having a privilege that we have collaborated with you so far. You are sitting there, and a little bit the connectivity issue, that is the third variable while we are conducting on the research, that is confounding and uncontrollable mediating variable that is far away from control. So I would like
Yes.
to invite all the audience who are present here. Please switch on your videos to have some memories with sir, so that we can have some screenshots with sir. And those who are capable of having some screenshots, kindly take them away with you. Sonu and Amrit, Daya, Suman, please all switch on your videos. Actually, sir, our papers are side by side going on. That's why many of the participants, hundreds of the participants, are actually they are going on conducting their exams, carrying out their exams. So that's why we are little bit short of the audience. Otherwise,
Yes,
we
today
are
the participant is
having
not
more
that much.
than 200 participants.
Okay.
Yes, exams, due to exams, the students and participants and dignitaries are not present here. So many of
Okay.
the participants, please switch on your videos, please, so that we can have some screenshot with sir. Dr. Seema, if you are there, kindly take some screenshots. And Hamishu sir, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Devendra sir. He is consistently taking all the sessions without any delaying and without any skipping. Whatever the circumstances, he is always attending the session. Thank you, Devendra sir. Thank you from our side that you are taking consistently the sessions, and everybody must be inspired from you.
Thank you so much. On
That
behalf of
how
Maria
to
Abacha,
attend the sessions regularly.
thank you so much. On behalf of Maria Abacha American University, we are very much grateful. We really appreciate your effort. Actually, you encourage us more. We are very much grateful. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I'm going to about winding up the session. Dr. Sushila Sharma on the behalf of Baba Mastnath University Department of Education, Associate Professor in Education, and having MSc Biotechnology also, sir. I'm also a biotechnologist. So it's a great kind to meet with you. You have done anatomy and other things, and we have also done some experiments with Drosophila. So we are having the same stream. So it's time to depart now, and we will meet tomorrow with another esteemed speaker. And tomorrow we will have another session. That session American University. Sir, once again from my side, and I acknowledge your presence here, your efforts also.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you.
So I'm going to end up this meeting here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.